Okay, so we are taking over as Ansel and Zelus again. Okay, so back when I was uh, working on this really and trying to keep my channel up to date on this, I I created development diaries, videos on my YouTube channel, which showed off parts of the game. And this was part that I had an episode featuring. So I don't think anything has really changed since I created that dev diary like 7 years ago or something. So I think we're just about to see the same thing over again. Up, too small. Another sprite that's too small. So we are arriving at Fort Festing. Now, this is something that we didn't see in the dev diary, I don't believe, was actually being able to wander around the fort. This music that's playing, oh my god, this is the first, it's a little bit improper for this part of the game, but it was one of the few pieces of music I actually created using one of those dubbing programs. I had created actually a fair bit of music for this game, but a lot of it is sort of licensed music that I was able to get for cheap enough. You guys don't say anything? Oh, you were supposed to get deleted when the scene changed. Oh, shit. I'm not sure which building I'm supposed to go in. Some of them aren't. Oh, look at this. Oh, okay, it's her. Okay, she's a. Okay, this character model I created. I think that might actually be one of the more recent character portraits I made, but her sprite is. I forgot she was in here. Her sprite is just a stock asset. Setting switch. What the fuck? Oh my god, I get it. I remember now. This was a debugging tool that I put in place because this conversation with Romy here is actually one of the one of those branching parts of the story. If you had spoken to Romy, it would, in a minor way, affect something that happened a little bit later on in the game. So, where is... Okay, here she is. Erin. Oh my god, her name is still Erin. Okay, so there's a shopkeeper. Even though since this part of the game isn't complete, I will do nothing. Okay. So this character of Erin, I had changed her name several times through the development of the game. So I needed her. A lot of the characters, you can tell vaguely where they are from, what kingdom they are from, based on their names. So a lot of the characters that we're seeing in this section of the game have Germanic names. So it was sort of supposed to be indicative that they were all from this kingdom. Now, when you have a character that has a name, not just a sort of a physical characteristic like a skin color or something, but something as little as a name that has a sort of different ethnic origin, you could tell that they were from somewhere else. So I wanted this character to have sort of a vaguely Irish name to indicate that she was a foreigner from this area. So I had named her, her name was Erin at one point, obviously, since she's in this part of the game named Erin. Her name was also Iona at some point. The name I ended up settling on was Bridget. So, possibly at different points in the game, she is going to have a different name, and we're just going to have to live with that confusion. For the sake of this playthrough, I'm just going to call her Bridget every time we see her, even if the game itself is going to call her Erin or Iona or whatever the fuck else I might have named her at different points. So Festing is supposed to operate as though it were a town, but it's very incomplete. There's a cave here that you can wander into. This is where they keep their food, and it's where some of the beds are. None of you talk. Oh, these are refugees that came to the fort. I guess I didn't program them all to have something to say yet. Some reused sprites there. Okay, so it's just a side quest. This wasn't necessary to complete the game. So you... Hello, who are you? Set. Fuck, what? Oh my god. Oh my god, I just fucked something up. There was another debug flag. I'm gonna have to restart this. There was another debug flag that just occurred that placed Annabelle in the group. Remember, Annabelle was a character that we had in the beginning of the story. It placed her in the group for debugging purposes. Ah, fuck. Alright, I'm gonna have to restart this section of the game. Alright, so I just gotta make sure I don't talk to this fella and set the flag that puts Annabelle in the group. You just have some monsters to fight in here. Just a simple... simple couple of monsters to kill. I think you have to kill all of them. You don't actually have to find the food that he's looking for. This is actually sort of what I had envisioned the purpose of the character of Erin or Bridget or whatever the fuck we want to call her as being. So you would have... I kind of... It was a bad idea, but I had envisioned this world as being something where money isn't really something that people use anymore. And if you wanted to buy items like curative items or restorative items, you wouldn't be able to just buy them. You would have to go through some sort of like short, typically very short kind of side quest to do it. Now, it turns out that's a terrible fucking idea. You needed to have shops. You don't want to... You want to just buy your stuff, not like do things to work for it. Oh, look at that. It's a graboid. I forgot about this thing. Anyway, so I had created the character of Bridget, or Erin, in order to fill the role as a sort of the quest giver. She would be able to give you out quests to go and do these things to get these items. Now, I eventually decided that the whole idea of doing quests to get items was fucking stupid. But I still had implemented a couple of them, like the one we're doing here. I eventually switched Erin up, or Bridget, up to be a character who does operate as the shopkeeper that you interact with in order to buy things, but she doesn't give out side quests anymore. Here's the food. You don't need to interact with it at all. I can walk on top of it. But anyway, I created Bridget to be a sort of intermediary to pick up side quests. Then I figured, like, no, that'd be stupid. Always talk to the same character to get side quests. Just have characters pick up side quests from other characters that you encounter in the world. And then let Bridget just be just a regular character in the story. What did we get? We got nothing. Fuck you, dude. You didn't give us anything. Give me my items. Oh, gained 5 potions. Do I? Oh, I do have 5 potions. Why did I have to talk to him twice? That is weird. Whatever, who cares? Not like items really matter. Alright, so I gotta... Where the hell do I talk to Decker? There we are. Nope. You're already in here. Who? What is your name again? I can't remember you. Tiny Sprite. Ah, Bach. All right, so uh, portrait stayed. Alrighty, so we picked up our next story mission. This is not a side mission. This is part of the main story. So you're supposed to head out of here, and there's a path up this way that you follow. By the way, you can see a little bit of world building stuff. You can see where what's they were talking about before, how this fort used to be larger. You can see where the wall used to extend. And here's the graveyard. Hello, who are you? All right, so they buried a lot of the refugees that died in this mass grave here, next to an old graveyard. And anyway, the fort used to be larger, and it extended off in this direction. This was actually the first scene, that scene anyway. I talked before about how it was part of a dev diary I had done. But this scene that occurred right here was actually the first scene I made for the entire game. But it had a very different art style. It had a much more cartoony, sort of generic RPG Maker art style to it. As such, this is a complete recreation of that map. This is not that same map just used over again. I completely rebuilt it. And in fact, this building here is this building, and this building, as well as this wall, are here, and the ground. But none of this other stuff is here. In fact, the buildings aren't actually even complete, just as much as you can see while the camera pans across. So, you know, there's a lot more to this than there was in that kind of preliminary work that I had done before. Oh, look at this. You can see the edge of the map there. How do I get out of here? Where am I supposed to go? Here, maybe? I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's supposed to be something I run into, which triggers the next scene. Give me a sec, I'm going to look into it. So I checked it out, and I am just missing the I'm missing the trigger, which takes you to the next section. So I'm going to cut this and then jump it back in, leading into the next scene. All right. All right, so just jumped into the next scene. Okay, so yeah, this was one of the split ups that occurred. If you had encountered Romy while in the fort, when you saw her out here, Ansel would already knew who she was. But since I restarted the game, jumping up into this point. That conversation never occurred, so he doesn't know who she is. Okay, so we have Romy joins the party, and she is now she's going to be one of our permanent party members. Now she, despite not being ordered to, she follows us out here because she thinks that she might know where the colonel has disappeared off to. As you can see, this is yet another example of my shit dungeon developing skills. It's just a big area, and the destination is all the way on the other side, and you just sort of have to run up there. And since I didn't bother populating this section with enemies or anything like that, we're just going to beeline for the other end of it. There isn't really anything to see out here. Look at this. This is just nothing. Trees and shit. It's pathetic. I'm really bad at this. Keep on going. Wow, this environment is big. This is really big. I don't want to stray too far from the path because I know that's just going to be where the exit is. Oh, there was an enemy here. Swamp beast. We're still fighting these fucking things. All of our characters are of the same class. Although, apparently, the class is... Never mind. Stupid. Incomplete game. As time goes on, you see less and less of the environments are covered in floodwaters and stuff. I had given it the ability to travel back to the mountain path where Ansel was hiding in the beginning of the game. And had you done that, you would have found that the waters had receded even further. And it would have largely been dry with sort of like mud flats everywhere. Hello. Ah, Jaeger's back.